Burny Mattinson, the legend Disney animator who worked on several classics beginning in the 1950s, died on Monday in Canoga Park, California, at the age of 87. During his astounding and prolific career, Mattinson became Disney's longest-serving employee ever. The Walt Disney Company confirmed his death. The animator, who got his start with the iconic studio on 1950s-era classics including The Lady and the Tramp (1955) and Sleeping Beauty (1959), and most recently worked on last year's Strange World, died just months before he was to be awarded Disney's first-ever 70th Anniversary Service Award in June. Burny's artistry, generosity, and love of Disney animation and the generations of storytellers that have come through our doors, for 7 decades, has made us better artists, better technologists, and better collaborators, said Walt Disney Animation Studios Chief Creative Officer Jennifer Lee in a statement. All of us who have had the honor to know him and learn from him will ensure his legacy carries on. Don Hall, the director of Raya and the Last Dragon and the Oscar winner Big Hero 6, also shared a statement in tribute to Mattinson. For almost 30 years, I've had the privilege to work alongside Burny Mattinson, from Winnie the Pooh to Big Hero 6 to, most recently, Strange World, he said. I have marveled at his artistry, enjoyed his good humor, and sat enraptured by his stories of Disney history. At 18 years old, he followed his dream of working at Walt Disney Animation Studios, and for almost 70 years he lived that dream every day, inspiring all of us who had the good fortune to follow in his footsteps. I love him dearly, he added. Mattinson was born on May 13, 1935, in San Francisco. A childhood screening of Pinocchio, 1940, when he was only 6, inspired him to become an animator, according to Variety. His early animation was modeled on the Disney style, and he got a job in the mailroom with the studio shortly after graduating from high school. After 6 months he graduated to the animation, where he worked as an in-betweener on Lady and the Tramp, 1955. The process in hand-drawn animation involves an animator using a light board to create transitional frames between key frames crafted by the lead animators. The in-between frames help to create a sense of motion between the key images. Other early Disney films he worked on included 101 Dalmatians, 1961, The Sword in the Stone, 1963, Mary Poppins, 1964, The Jungle Book, 1967, The Aristocats, 1970, and The Rescuers, 1977. He worked with multiple members of Disney's 9 Old Men, the influential group of core animators at the studio who shaped many of its greatest films. Mattinson also had a hand in Disney's television work on Walt Disney's Wonderful World of Color. In addition to working on animation for those films, he also was a member of the story team for later Disney animated films, including the modern classics Aladdin, 1992, Beauty and the Beast, 1993, The Lion King, 1994, Pocahontas, 1995, The Hunchback of Notre Dame, 1996, Tarzan, 1997, and Mulan, 1998. Mattinson also worked as a director, helming his mid-career animated featurette Mickey's Christmas Carol in 1983. The 26-minute cartoon, which played in theaters before a reissue of The Rescuers, was the first time Mickey Mouse had been featured on the big screen in 30 years. According to Disney, Mattinson had been staying busy in his final years and was still working as a story consultant and mentor to younger artists at the studio. In 2008, he was inducted into the Disney Legends program, a hall of fame for the studio's contributors. Burny was the Renaissance man of Disney animation, said Disney animator Eric Goldberg, according to Variety. He literally did everything that could be done at the studio: assistant animator, story artist, producer and director of many films that made an indelible mark on our collective appreciation of the Disney ethos. He was also, when he started, traffic boy to Walt, giving Walt his weekly spending cash. He is survived by his wife Ellen Ciarola, his son, Brett Mattinson, his wife Kelly and their 2 children, and his daughter, Jenny, her husband Larry Elena and their 2 children. Mattinson will be laid to rest at Forest Lawn in the Hollywood Hills in a private ceremony, though donations can be made in his honor to the MPTF Motion Picture and Television Fund, in Woodland Hills, California.